More than 300 beneficiaries in San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina will receive tax refund payments. This is a great news in the midst of the economic impact generated by the pandemic in our islands.
Since February 19, the tax refund money transfer corresponding to this year's payment cycle has been available. The Director of Social Prosperity in San Andres gave us detail about this payment.
El día de hoy quiero informarle que para el programa.
Today I want to inform you that for the tax refund program, we have started payments in the territory. In San Andres, we have more than 300 beneficiaries of the program who receive an incentive of 80,000 pesos and can claim in the offices of Superior. If the beneficiaries want to know if they have this incentive, they may enter the portal www.prosperidadsocial.gov.co, and at the point of a tax refund can verify if they are beneficiaries. These payments will be available only from February 19th until March 5th.
Let us remember that as a measure of economic support for the poorest household, the national government brought forward the tax refund scheme. It consists of lower income families receiving resources that will alleviate the impact of the tax of the consumption of products and services of the most vulnerable people.
Several reactions have been generated in the department with respect to the decision of not using face masks in public spaces. Let's see what the community thinks about the issue.
Yesterday, the national government informed that the municipalities with a coverage greater than 70% in complete vaccination schemes may stop using face masks in open spaces. Among these territories is the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Catalina. We went out to the streets to know the opinion of the citizens regarding this issue.
Especially on the island of San Andres, I don't think that this measure should be enforced. Many tourists come here. The COVID-19 is still around, so I don't agree. For me, this new measure of public spaces has been positive news because we are freeing ourselves a little from that pressure. In my case, the respiratory problem with the mask was very uncomfortable due to the heat caused by having the mask on. So getting rid of that part is very cool. Here in San Andres, there are people who have not been vaccinated. Some ladies say they are not going to get vaccinated because they don't believe in it. We are running the risk that if we don't use the mask, we could get sick again.
And in the last few hours, the Agustin Codazzi Geographic Institute announced that they have a special window for the completion of cadastral procedures and the acquisition of products from the entity's catalog.
At this attention point of the Agustin Codazzi Geographic Institute, citizens can carry out procedures and purchase products related to change of ownership, land registration, modification of cadastral registration, request for certification, copies of property record, atlases, soil studies, maps of Colombia, and the departments, among other services. The office is located at the Francisco Nuevo Avenue, next to the Santa Catalina hardware store, and is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday. They can also be contacted through the emails sanandres.igac.com.co. Through the press release, the director of the entity, Ana Maria Aljurge, knows that the Institute puts Geographic at the service of the islanders, who will be able to resolve their concerns, purchase products and services, and carry out procedures in an agile manner through this window.
And today is the second day of the archipelago's participation in the Anato Tourism Showcase. The government is betting on a great attraction for investors.
The San Andres stand received 1,500 visitors on the second day of promoting a destination at the country's most important tourism fair. It is noteworthy that the government is betting on attracting the attention of domestic and foreign investors in order to increase the archipelago's finances.
Today, on the second day of the fair in the tourist showcase, in the company of the governor and other exhibitors who are presently accompanying us to promote our destination, we are pleased with the audience we are receiving at our booth. The number of visitors the exhibitors we have brought have already received 1,500 visits in each of their booths, which would certainly be important business and will help in the same way to increase and improve the economy of our department.
It should be noted that during the participation, the department will carry out cultural and gastronomic exhibition in order to attract visitors.
The inhabitants of the Serranilla neighborhood see the stagnation of sewage and rainwater as a never-ending problem.
The community of the Serranilla neighborhood is upset and concerned about the overflow of sewage and the stentation of rainwater, as this can be a source of infection and proliferation of insects.
Every day it smells like septic. You can imagine the smell. You can't even eat. You have to stay locked up. Now they have come and fixed that. We have small children, but it even makes an adult sick. It's a small street and it fills up with water, especially with the Veolia Water Network's problem, which is not suitable for people to connect to it, therefore it spills. Veolia came yesterday and removed the cap, pumped that water out, and the water has gone down a little bit. But we have to keep the doors closed. I heard that there are some children affected by dengue fever.
The problem with this manhole is that when it rains, it overflows. It has no drainage. They were working on it the day before yesterday, but now we have to wait for it to rain and see what happens.
The community hopes that the company in charge of those responsible for solving this problem will do as soon as possible, and this to prevent the situation from worsening.
It's a very serious situation, unfortunately. We have asked for help, and to this day we have not received any. We want this to be solved because there are many children in the sector who have been suffering from the problem of dengue fever, and so far we have not received any help.
Skin cancer in recent years has become one of the most common diseases in the department, and this is mostly produced by solar radiation. For the reason, health professionals seek to prevent this disease on the island.
Fishermen, tour operators, and motorcycle taxi drivers, among others, are within the occupational activities with a high rate of sun exposure in the department. For this reason, the Health Secretariat is conducting an awareness campaign on skin cancer.
We're making emphasis on what has to do with care for all the working population, both informal and formal, with respect to skin care.
Health professionals warn that all people, regardless of age and skin tone, should limit the amount of the time to explain exposed to ultraviolet light.
These people are exposed to a large number of sun rays daily. As we all know, these ultraviolet rays cause damage to the skin, especially if we do not protect ourselves. This can generate not only skin cancer, but also alterations. They should wear appropriate protective clothing. Nowadays, there is clothing that protects from ultraviolet rays. Sunscreen should be used 20 minutes before going out, and it should not be the cheapest one you can find, but the most suitable for your skin type and the one that provides the best protection. And you should wear a hat. They should also try to do their activity at a time when sun exposure is lower.
If you are exposed to UV rays for a prolonged period of time due to your work activity and you notice change in your skin, specialists recommend that you visit a doctor to rule out any disease.
Levante la mano quien ya esté al día con su tecnomecánica. ¿Cómo saberlo? Fácil. Revisa la fecha de vencimiento del último certificado y tenla presente. En la vía, abraza la vida y no dejes esta revisión tan importante para lo último. Recuerda que así evitas poner en riesgo tu patrimonio y a tu familia. Una campaña de la Agencia Nacional de Seguridad Vial y el Ministerio de Transporte. The following is the summary of how the COVID situation is progressing in the department.
Pelago has 10,132 cases of COVID-19. Yesterday, 5 infections were added in the department. According to the local reports, currently there are 5 active cases. 9,938 people have been recovered of the virus, and the intensive care unit is at 0%.
And now it's time for sport news with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. Professional baseball player chooses San Andres to train for the next season of international baseball.
Dominican Carlos Paulino is one of these professional baseball players who has played for American baseball teams and was in the Caribbean Games representing the Dominican Republic, a team that was defeated by the Caimanes of Barranquilla. Today, Paulino is in San Andres sharing his knowledge and experience with the islanders. This news agency had a dialogue with the Dominican baseball player.
I'm here to prepare for my season. It's going to be coming soon in Mexico. It means a lot because once you come to another country, country or to this island, and you're trying to prepare yourself, and you find a coach like Herman is a huge bless. So for me, it's a blessing, and I'm taking the best of it.
For Paulino, discipline is very important.
Discipline means a lot. I mean, I would say that discipline, for you to be a good baseball player, it's got to be one of the first steps for you to be good. For you to be professional, you have to be disciplined. First of all, to have discipline. And to those young kids, to have discipline, and that will help them a lot better.
The presence of professional baseball players on the island baseball grounds is important and sets a great example for the children and young people of the island.
And on the other side, an important victory for the team of San Luis that stopped the undefeated Loma Roots in the Under-10 baseball tournament.
An ideal game played by the San Luis team led by coaches David May and Steve Steele, who achieved a victory against the Loma Roots, taking away the Loma Roots' undefeated record. However, despite their loss, the Loma Roots are still in first place in the standings, following by the Marlins, San Luis, and the Braves. We spoke with Ashwan Farbs.
Because I can play with my friend them, all my friend them and my family can they are with me. Because I make myself feel better. Okay. And I make exercise also.
A very interesting tournament that begins to increase the talent and continuity of the little ball players in this under-10 baseball category.
And this is all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalba, Teleislas News.